Just to fill you in on the timeline of things here, I met with Peter Laviolette early this morning and informed him that he was being relieved of his duties as head coach. Right after that, I met with assistant coach Kevin McCarthy and told Kevin the same thing. 0-3 is 0-3. We still got a long way to go in terms of the season, but it was more about how we played, and it was unacceptable. We don't look like a team at all, and I felt just a gut feeling I needed to make the decision.
This is that story. This is the Flyers flight plan.
Why does this team, why have they hired more head coaches in the last 20 years than any other team in the National Hockey League? Why is that?
Is that an accurate stat?
I just made it one. No, I believe that's the case. 11, this is the 11th in 20 years. Is it impatience? Is it mistakes?
Why do you want to go back to all those coaches? There was a reason each time, and the general manager at the time and Paul now made decisions. They felt that we needed coaching changes, and they made them. Period. That's it.
Those. You approved those.
Of course I approved them.
Okay. But
They
why
work
is
for
that? I'm
the
just asking why
they
that's
work
the
for the
case.
general manager, and if the general manager feels he has to make a change, I approve it. It's as simple as that, Howard.
So
It's not any more complicated
So
than
is
that.
it mistakes? Mistakes by the organization when they hire this many?
Obviously, it may be a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake with Peter Laviolette. He did a very good job for us. But right now, we've been struggling, and we think we need a change. I'm a fan of Peter Laviolette. I think he did some very good things for this organization. It's a tough day when you have to let somebody go. But Paul felt it was time to make a change, and I would never say to Paul, you can't make a change.
Ed, I haven't talked to Craig yet, and I don't mean this as a matter of disrespect to him, but are you worried at all about the perception of an insular kind of attitude by bringing in someone with such, given the fact that you guys haven't won a cup in 38 years, why bring in somebody who is steeped in that sort of culture?
What's the culture?
A culture that hasn't won a championship.
We haven't won a championship,
for
but we've been in the
decades.
Stanley Cup Finals a lot of times, and we've been in the playoffs a lot of times, and the culture is to win. 30 teams are trying to win the cup, and we're doing our damnedest to do it. That's our culture.
And
That's our culture.
A fresh perspective.
No, we don't need a fresh perspective. We have a pretty good culture, and we know who we're dealing with.
I want to make that perfectly clear. I mean, a lot of people think that I come in and say, you got to fire the coach. No, I don't. I've never done it. I have to approve it. When anybody comes to me who is in charge of a particular department in any of our companies and they want to make a move, I ask questions, but I never, if I tell the general manager he can't do what he wants to do, then obviously I have no confidence in the general manager. But I thought our training camp, quite frankly, was one of the worst training camps I've ever seen. And I'm not talking about wins or losses. There was nothing exciting. Nobody shined. Nobody looked good. I couldn't point to one thing that I thought was a positive coming out of training camp, and I personally was worried. And unfortunately, my worries were realized in the first 3 games, scoring 1 goal in each game and looking disorganized. And if it weren't for our goalies, I think it could have been a lot worse.